Hi, I'm here to tell you about Mingbo and how he is motivated to learn and how his learning is actually structured. So sorry if I'm referencing my notes for a little bit, but so I asked him a series of questions when we met up, and I'm gonna break it into like different sections based on the questions that I asked him. So regarding like metacognition and how he learns. I think he said his biggest struggle was the fact that obviously he's learning things in a non-native language to him. So it takes a lot more effort because he says that he learned a lot of English when he was in his in China, and the only problem is here he's not as fast as every other student. So teachers or professors, I should say, are used to just firing information at you, and as a student that's been doing this in the same language for a very long time, it's easy for us to take notes down fast and comprehend what they're saying, whereas he says that it's very difficult for him because he has to translate everything and also worry about the communication barrier, where if he translates something wrong and it doesn't make sense, he has to go back and look it up. And then yeah, his basic problem was that he wasn't really fast with reading or writing, so that took a lot of extra work for him. As far as strategies that he designed to help himself with that, is he makes sure that he allots himself a very long period of time to complete each task. That way, if he runs into difficulties, he can not be so stressed out about the time, and actually focus more so on figuring out the information and understanding it, or set assignment. We talked about mostly writing essays because that was a big difficulty for him. As I'm sure we all know, they don't really give you outlines in college or university for writing an essay. So he was really lost on how to construct it and how to make the length appropriate, and all the different structures that you needed to have in a proper essay without even thinking about the information and research that's going into it. Um, yeah, his awareness based on his learning is he knows that he knew how to write an essay, but again, it took a long time. And the first one that he tried to write was very short, and he said it was unsatisfying to him. So he actually went and asked for help in the office hours to help understand how to make it a better paper, and they gave him an actual outline, and he said that helped him tremendously. If he didn't have that, he would still be lost on how to construct an essay. And he concluded these questions that I was asking about the essay, specifically that he may not be a good writer per se, but he has the basic methods now after going and seeking help from other professors and people that understand it a little bit better, that can have the time to explain it to him. But he has the methods and the basic knowledge to be able to construct and finish an essay. So he said, I'm sure with practice, as I keep going through my courses and my semesters and writing paper after paper, like me, it will be easier for him to construct that formal essay. When we talked about his learned strategies, per se, he said that he learned mostly through experience. It was all about taking each assignment that he was given, analyzing it, figuring out exactly how to organize and schedule his time carefully so that he did allot himself that much time to complete everything. He said he mostly thinks about it on his own, and tries to use his brain first before he goes out, and if he can't solve it or figure out the problem, he seeks friends out and he seeks other professors out. He definitely takes advantage of the office hours. He was stressing that that was something that really helped him. As far as attributing his learning, he believes that he really has the ability to complete any task that is asked of him to, with the right amount of effort and work that goes along with it. I think that he is, even compared to myself, he is very, very motivated when it comes to his schoolwork, and he believes that 100% effort is the only way that you're going to succeed in life, which I think is really awesome. He doesn't believe in luck, which I could see. I think there's a little bit of luck that goes into everything, but he was pretty firm on no, if you put in the hard work and you put in the effort, then you're going to come out on top. Um, as far as enjoyment goes for his activities, he says that he tends to enjoy it better, like most people, when he's getting the problems right, but isn't as discouraged when he doesn't get something right. He looks at that as an opportunity to better himself and to go more in depth about exactly what task that he's doing. Again, he said effort is always 100%. And he says even though he thinks that certain courses are tough, especially ones that have a lot of writing basis and a lot of lecture and a lot of note taking, where they don't actually explain things in detail, they just kind of throw the information at you. He says that he enjoys it, even though it's tough, but it's not horrible. As far as persistence goes, he is by far one of the most persistent people that I know. Even when we talk face to face, he wants to understand everything I'm saying, and he wants to actually know why certain things are the way they are. He says that if he can't figure out a problem, he goes to his professors and other teachers and his friends for inspiration on how to solve the problem, and more so to even double check his work to make sure that he isn't making things harder for himself, and isn't thinking too far into the problem, and asks them for strategies and different ways that he can accomplish the problems. Yeah, as far as challenge goes, he says he enjoys the challenge because he knew coming here it wasn't going to be easy, that nobody was going to hand anything to him just because he was at a disadvantage learning everything in a non-native language, but also he still enjoys learning and the aspect of bettering himself, and that's the one thing he focused on throughout our entire conversation was, even though this is a difficult thing for me to accomplish, I came here and I decided to do it, so I need to do it and I need to put my 100% effort in it, which I think is very noble. Yeah, well, that is Ming Bo and how he learns and is motivated 100%. Thank you.